So I have the tomato cage upside down with the part that you normally stick into the ground facing up. And then I have a standard plastic pumpkin pail, and I'm gonna go ahead and tip it upside down and slide it over all three of those metal parts. So here is the tomato cage upside down with the pumpkin head on, and what I've got now is just a regular yard size garbage bag. I'm gonna open it up, slide it over the top, and I wanna make sure that the garbage bag goes all the way around the base, so I'm covering it, and then I want to make the top so it's centered. Okay, next I've just cut a piece of twine, but you could use a strip of black fabric. You could use, I'll talk about some other options. You could use ribbon as well if you wanted it to be all black. But I'm just gonna take this piece of twine and I'm going to go around. I wanna aim for the pumpkin bucket. I'm just gonna go ahead and tie this in here. What you're doing is you're giving your witch a waist. And you can decide, if you want it to be a bow or not. And then these are gonna be her arms. So you need them to fluff out a little bit so that she's got some arms. So we've got the body kind of done now, so we're gonna talk about the head. And what I'm gonna use is another pumpkin bucket for the head. Now you could leave it forward facing if you want this face, or you could turn it around and draw another face. I'm going to go ahead and leave it mysterious and blank. And what we're gonna do next is glue this to the top. So I'm just gonna go ahead and add a little hot glue. And then we're gonna add the pumpkin on top. Now I want my pumpkin to light up at night, her face. I want it to sparkle. So I got one of these sparkly little lights. I'm gonna go ahead and put that inside her head. Now next, of course, she needs a witch hat. So I'm gonna go ahead and tip it upside down. And I've got these old bags, but you can use fiber fill or whatever you want, and I'm just gonna go ahead and stick them inside. So basically they're like garbage bags or grocery store bags. Then I also just wanna make it so that it sticks up and it has a nice little point to the top of it. And again, I'm trying to think of things that if it's outside and it does get wet because it rains or snows, it's not a big deal. And then I'm gonna go ahead and place this right on top of her head. Now, if you were not gonna put the lights in, you would just hot glue the hat into place. But again, I want to get in and out of mine so that I can turn that light on in the evenings. Okay, so the basic witch is done. So now you can embellish it however you want to. So if you want to add some tulle to her, you can. Again, it really just depends upon where you're gonna be putting her. I think this belt is a little too small, so I'm gonna be contemplating either a black belt for her or maybe a bigger rope belt. You can also cut some slits or some zigzags into her sleeves. Same thing on the bottom. You can take and just make a zigzag pattern so she's maybe a more weathered witch, or maybe she's a good witch and needs some more sparkle or something to her. So personalize your witches. Now I'm gonna be making 3 of them, and we are gonna connect their hands together. So I'll be talking about that next, and I'll be whipping 2 more of these together really fast. Okay, so I've got 2 of them made, the 3rd one's over there, and I'm going to use 1 more garbage bag to make their hands hold together. So I've cut the garbage bag into a long strip. I'm gonna take it in the center. I'm gonna go ahead and make a knot in the center. This is going to be where their hands join together. So I'm gonna aim to put the knot in the middle, and you can make these as long or as short as you want, depending upon how far apart you want your witches. And then I'm gonna take this little corner here, this edge of this, I'm gonna add a little bit of hot glue to it. I'm gonna stick one end of her arm to that, and then I'm gonna do the same thing to the other side. I'm gonna hot glue this piece together. Now, if it's a little easier, you can go ahead and make a little knot on the end, so you've got a little something easier to glue. Kind of depends upon where you're displaying them again, but then you just hot glue that together, and now they have arms joining, and you can spread them apart. Here are all 3 witches all ready to go outside, and I will show you a couple ways that you can display them in your yard. Here they are all on display, and I'm so excited with how they turned out. Again, I'm Chas with Chas's Crazy Creations. Thanks for watching Home Talk, and I'll see you next time.